you assholes hiding? Hello. We are the Geeks and Degenerates. And as you've seen from the thumbnail and that intro, we are doing Grand Theft Auto 5, which is another in the open world genre, and is by undoubtedly the king of open world games, Rockstar.
I agree. Especially with their release of Red Dead, which we will be touching on later this week.
Yeah.
This was a game changer compared to 4.
Yeah.
We waited a long time for this, and we're waiting an extremely longer time for 6. But I gotta say, they gave us more than what we deserved with this game at the time, which was 2013.
Is it more than you bargained for? Yep.
Yeah. Around the time when it came out, I wasn't really allowed to buy this game. Since, yes, I was underage. But I did play it in my friend's house, and I had so much fucking fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you gave hints on your childhood. Like, I wasn't allowed to play any GTAs until I was like 15. And that's when I could get the ones on the PSP. So I'm like, yeah.
Same here.
Violence.
I only played majority of my GTA life in the PSP and friends PS3. Because I swear, I can't like just have a big screen with speakers on and somebody saying the F word, me hooking up with a prostitute on the side of the road, me stealing a car, pretty much shooting people unprecedented, like just randomly. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. And like, before we get into the plot and the gameplay, like, needless to say, this added on to people being like, video games create violence. It makes humanity more violent. Like, yes, of course, as if humanity was all hunky-dory before video games.
Yeah, you know what? Like, Hitler went crazy after he played Twisted Metal. You know, like,
yeah,
it gets to everybody.
Yeah. And of course, video games have been blamed for everything from very tragic circumstances like Columbine, where it's like, no, it's not video games, it's mental health and other issues, especially for the United States. But that's not the Philippines issues. Again, I'm kind of tired. If you don't know, we're Filipino. Hi. So we're just looking through a lens of other cultures. But yeah. Yeah, we already said how hyped we were for this game, and I wish Edwin was here, because he's the one who told me, like, hey, guess what, there's a new GTA coming out, and that year I already just picked up a GTA 4, and it was fun, but it was definitely not this. It was more of like a darker tone, like a darker immigrant tale, which I find interesting, but like, this is more like almost to the tone of a Hollywood blockbuster, what do you call that? A spoof, or like
a satire
on society.
Yeah, of the society within that state or within this country. Well, that's mostly, I think, after 4, GTA has been just a satire of like America.
Yeah, and like getting into it, like you start off with a heist, a robbery gone horribly wrong. You're introduced to Michael and Trevor and Brad's brains, and what's the guy in the wheelchair again?
Lester.
Yeah.
Lester wasn't really there, like at the beginning. Like, you don't see him.
Oh yeah,
but
no.
You know he's there.
Yeah, Lester's the guy who gets shot in the chest. You're like, I guess he's a goner.
Was he?
Or was the guy who's
that was Brad?
Okay.
Brad is not the brains. Brad is just a dude who's friends with Michael and Trevor.
Yeah.
And Lester is mostly the brains.
Yeah. But yeah, and like we get into it, like we meet Franklin, but of course you see Michael in therapy, but Franklin is a hustler and he's boosting cars. And what was your car color?
It was just white and red. Like, Lamar gets
what did you
white
choose?
one, and which one did I choose?
Yeah.
I chose the red one.
I chose the white one.
Ah, okay. It doesn't really make a difference.
It doesn't, but like, it's every big question of like, which car did you choose first? And like, through Franklin's boss, because he is dealing with a scumbag, literally, who's like dealing with credit fraud. He's like, hey, this rich boy hasn't paid for his car yet. Can you please steal it? And like, if you fail, the interactions are just so funny.
If you've never played GTA before, boy, it's a roller coaster ride of a shit ton of racism, a shit ton of sexism, a shit ton of whatever ism that is horrible and politically incorrect. You'll get like 9 yards of just horrible shit, and it's all just making fun of
Society.
this.
Yeah.
Society that where they live in, and they just turned it up to 100.
Yeah.
And I love it. Like even with the like the Mark Zuckerberg like joke where there's this dude who's pretty much revealing to the world like, yes, I am taking your data. Yes, I am snooping through all the shit that you guys look at. And we'll do it more. And then he gets his brains blown up from a phone bomb. I was like,
yeah.
Cool.
But yeah, Franklin steals the Humvee, Jeep.
No, it was a Karen. So a Karen means it's a Japanese car. So I'm guessing,
SUV.
Yeah, it's a Japanese car.
Yeah.
It's a Toyota FJ Cruiser. Sorry, it's like that world's FJ Cruiser.
Yeah.
Sorry to correct you there.
That's fine. And then Michael is in the back. You're like, how long have you been waiting for me?
Michael's really good at his job, and I like it.
Yeah.
But you see how this kid's like, okay, I am not gonna get shot over a job that doesn't even pay me.
Yeah.
And yeah, sure, I'm employee of the month, but it doesn't really matter because they don't pay me.
Yeah.
So, oh well, yeah, I'm driving into this dude's dealership. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah. And Michael's like, maybe one day we'll have a beer and I'll talk to you about life, because Franklin's life isn't going well. He's getting underpaid. He's living with his aunt. He's like, if only I had enough cash.
And he has
to get
an
a better
ungrateful
life.
best friend. He has an ungrateful best friend.
Yeah.
Like every time Lamar's like, I was like, hey, can you help me out? And Franklin will be like, yeah, sure, I'll give here some money.
Yeah.
Hopefully this is okay. I was like, from all the things I've done for you, you just saved his life.
Yeah.
That happens a lot, by the way, in this game.
Yeah. But Franklin does meet Michael, and you see a lot of Michael's home life where his family is not the best. Like, they're always yelling at each other. His wife is unfaithful. His son is a little shit. So is his daughter.
His daughter is soon to be star.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be specific on what kind of star, but she's getting there, I guess. Good for her.
But yeah, they plan to ride out to a bar, but they have to save his son from these crooks who stole his yacht. And you're like, this is fun. Though if you miss, you're like, oh fuck, I ran over Franklin. No.
Wait, I've had that moment a lot. It's because my friend sucks at driving. Like, he keeps running over Franklin to the point where he's just like, can you just drive for me? I'm like, okay.
Yeah. And then from there on, after they save Jimmy, after that mission, shit just escalates for the both of them. Like, Franklin meets Stretch, who's this old-time gangster, but Stretch keeps ripping them off. He keeps betraying them or doing stupid shit. I mean, so does Lamar, but like, Lamar doesn't mean to do stupid shit, but he does stupid shit.
Yeah, like, there's no ulterior motive. Lamar's still a bro.
Yeah.
While Stretch is like, oh, I'll backstab you for a couple of bucks.
Yeah. And like, Michael's troubles really escalate when he catches his wife, cheating on him with a tennis coach, and he decides to pull the house down, and the guy's like, bro, that's not my house. I'm a fucking tennis coach. I don't get even paid that much.
That's why I was wondering, I'm like, oh, we're gonna get fucked over. And then we meet Madrazo.
Yeah.
And I was like, ooh, he owned the house. Well, his girlfriend owns the house. Well, he bought the house, and his girlfriend owns it.
Yeah. It's like, you better pay me back, otherwise I'm gonna kill you and your family. And it is a nice, when he does pull down the house, going back a bit, it is a nice little Easter egg to Lethal Weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. A lot of references here, especially to a lot of heist movies.
Yeah.
they take a lot of influence from the Italian Job, Fast and Furious.
Heat.
Hmm?
Heat with Robert De Niro and Al Pacino.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, Michael's in trouble and gets in touch with Lester again, and like they do the Life Invader job, and then they are like, all right, I need to do a heist. Can you please help me? And then they scout this little jewelry shop, and he's like, hey, I know this kid. He's pretty good. Can we bring him in? And Lester's like, I don't really work with amateurs. He's not an amateur.
And you gotta like their dynamic between Franklin and Michael, because knowing Michael's kid, his actual son, is kind of like a lazy bum who has allergies, likes to stay inside, likes to play up the gangster life, but of course he's a rich kid.
Yeah.
Unlike Franklin, where this kid comes from, he like works his way from ground up.
Yeah.
And Michael sees a lot of himself in him, and he likes to mentor him. And I like that dynamic between them. Like, it's what I wanted in a son.
Yeah. And then they do the jewelry heist. I have a question for you. Did you do quiet or loud the first time around?
Quiet. I did quiet.
Yeah,
Because
same here.
for me, like, if I were... Like, people play GTA just for the fun of it, and I understand that. But for me and my friends, we like the role play. So, like, what would we do if this was, like, we like to tie up loose ends, we shoot, like, random people pretending, like, oh, they had connections to the job. Like, we like doing that, and we're like, we have to keep this clean as possible, no dead bodies as much as possible.
Yeah.
And so, I did it quiet.
Yeah, I did it so too first time, but I've tried both options, like the other playthroughs. But quiet is pretty cool because you knock them all out with knockout gas, and you just literally have time to yourself to break the cases and get the money to pay back Madrazo. And the chase scene is cool, and this is why you choose your heist members properly, because if you choose a lousy driver, he just slams into the wall of the tunnel like, I guess the share goes to me.
Yeah, because like they don't give you the option to be the driver.
Yeah.
So you have to be the shooter. You have to hold the jewelry, which sucks.
Yeah.
Because Franklin has the skill to slow everything down while.
Oh yeah, I
driving,
forgot to mention
right?
they all have special skills. Franklin involves driving. Michael involves shooting.
And Trevor, who's gonna come in later on into the game, has like
Rage.
Yeah. Man can take bullets and can deal a lot of damage.
Yeah.
Depending on the gun.
Yeah. But then they make their getaway and they're like, I can't believe we got away with it. And then later on, Franklin tries to make up with his girlfriend. Like, I'm more mature now. She's like, are you in a strip club? Grow the fuck up. Like, oh, okay.
Is that the one where she's the one with
Doctor.
the doctor lawyer boyfriend?
Yeah.
Like haircut.
Yeah. And then Franklin goes to Michael's house and they're like, all right, we did it. And then Dave Norton shows up. He's like, do you realize what you just did, you fucking idiot? If he sees this on TV, you're fucked. And who's he? And that's Trevor.
Yep. Trevor is the only sole survivor of the bank robbery that happened in the beginning of the game.
I mean, so was Michael, but Michael had to fake his death.
Yeah, Michael was kind of in on it.
Yeah. And then you get a cameo from Johnny from The Lost and the Damned. We're like, oh, so that's how his journey ends.
Very. But you like, I mean, from Ballad of Gay Tony and The Lost.
Yeah.
I like the Ballad of Gay Tony more. So him dying off didn't really matter to me, but like the fact that this dude had a story and he just like died after crying on Trevor's like shoulder, I'm like, this is the worst way to go for Lost, I guess.
Unlike he just goes full psycho as Walter White, takes out the bikers, takes out the Aztecas, and there's no competition left for drugs and guns. So it makes a deal with the Chinese, but like that goes to shit because they find him unstable, obviously. So they make a deal with the Driscoll's Deloitte. O'Neill's. Sorry.
The O'Driscolls.
Damn O'Driscolls. No. And like I love how when he's off to the farm and you have the wrong radio station playing, Trevor's like, the music's all wrong, and just changes it to like metal.
Okay. Bro, by the way, GTA 5 probably has the best soundtrack in gaming. Like, sure, not original,
Yeah.
but if their song list for every radio station is so fucking good. Unless you're not into, you know, country or pop.
Yeah.
There's indie, there's rock and roll. I love that shit.
Electric music. Speaking of pop, the voice for non-stop pop is Cara Delevingne, which I found out like a year later. I'm like, oh shit, Enchantress, before I saw the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And wait, what was your favorite radio station?
Kenny Loggins one. That was mostly rock.
Oh, okay. For me, it was Radio Mirror Park. Indie music.
Nice.
Yeah.
Speaking of Trevor's Place, though, like there is a reference to No Country for Old Men. Like if you go past the bridge, there's like a bunch of dead people, and there's a guy with a suitcase like, "Don't you dare take it!" And if you take the money, people come after you, but you know you don't get bitten by a dog or shot. Javier Bardem doesn't come after you, thankfully. But yeah, early on he tells Wade to go to Los Santos, and he comes back with makeup first, and he's like, "No, you idiot! Find Michael DeSantos." Like, okay, Trevor, I'm sorry.
And he does find him, right?
Yeah. But before that,
Oh yeah.
you learn how to fly a plane, which at first you're like, how do I do this?
Homie, just be glad you didn't do it on the PC. Because, my god, that shit was hard as fuck. Until you found out that you're supposed to use, like, the number pad on the far right of your keyboard for up and down, I guess?
Yeah.
Instead of your mouse.
And like, the first time, my wing fell off with the motorcycle guy, and it skidded forward, and then I crashed on top of him. Like, well, we're all dead. Sorry, Ron. Yeah.
But, oh god.
Wade does find Michael, and then Trevor leaves one more gift to the Lost in the Dam. He just kills the remaining lot of them, and then he...
Yeah, so this is pretty much the end of the Lost.
Yeah.
Their whole story in Liberty City
ends in Los Santos.
Yep. Yeah, it's just done.
Yeah. And then he moves to Los Santos, and before he moves to Ron's cousin's house, Wade's cousin's house, he stops for a bit and he's like, "I warned you, Michael. You've been alive all this time." And we're like, damn. There's even a tattoo that says, "Rip Michael." You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, like, sure, Trevor's an insane bastard, but the dude is a bro at heart.
Yeah.
Like, he will care about you if you're a really good friend to him. So, like, okay.
The story tells of like the pilot named Trisha is like, "Is Trisha a boy's name, Trevor? That's a weird name." Yes, and then he meets Michelle. That's also a weird name for a boy. He was supposed to join the Air Force, but he was grounded because of a HR said no, he's crazy. And then
I don't blame him.
yeah, he and Michael robbed banks until Michael met Amanda, and Michael faked his death, and that's how we lead to this. And Trevor's just going off, and poor Wade is like, "I thought you said her name was Trisha, Trevor." And then they crash for Ron's house, and he's like, I don't want to be here anymore. I hate it here."
No, wait, what was the name of Wade's cousin? That poor bastard with a abusive, cheating girlfriend.
Is it? No, Ron is the other guy. I forgot. Shit.
Yeah, but it was Wade's cousin. And they made him do odd jobs because he had connections to, like, a construction company.
Yeah, where Merriweather was doing their shit. But
Yeah.
before we get to that, like, Trevor's reintroduced to Michael's life, and they're like, all of them are like, oh shit, Michael, how do we deal with this?
You're right, because again, Trevor's unstable.
Yeah. Also, find out that Michael has been working with the FIB, and this is the start of like their odd jobs for Michael. Michael has to tell Franklin, and then all of them are pulled into capturing Mr. K for the FIB, who is being tortured by, I guess, the CIA of their universe.
Yeah, the CIA. What was it? The IAA.
Yeah.
I think it was what they were called. And I felt so bad for Mr. K.
Yeah.
Like he was like, "Oh, thank you for saving me." He didn't know that he was going into something way worse.
Yeah.
And then that's when we get the interrogation scene. I was like,
Yeah. And like,
I
of
was like,
course,
oh,
the
no.
scene caused hella a lot of controversy. Because it's just you and Steve Haynes and Trevor picking the tools. You're like, I kind of don't wanna anymore. And now I'm like, I don't wanna.
It's a cool sequence, as like for storytelling, because you go back and forth from Trevor to Michael, because Trevor is getting the answers from Mr. K. By the way, they didn't need to do the torture scene.
Yeah.
Because Mr. K was willing to talk.
Yeah.
The entire time he was willing to say anything. But they were like, no, okay, get the tasers. Or get the electrical thingy, the jumper cable.
I felt
like,
worse when his heart stopped. You're like, oh no.
and then you had to resuscitate him. He was like, oh god, I'm not dead.
And then
Yeah.
it is for Michael to find a target. Some guy they think is a terrorist. You're like, of course.
For Azerbaijan.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they had to look for somebody like that, and they had to describe what he looked like.
Yeah.
And it was kind of hard because everybody in that party pretty much had the same description.
Yeah.
Middle Eastern guy with a beard that smokes.
Again,
And
Mr. K is still willing to be like, wait, I didn't finish my sentence. Please don't hit me again.
I first time playing it, my friend accidentally got the wrench. I didn't know what they were gonna do with that wrench, and my god, felt so horrible because all I wanted to do was just electrocute the guy. Because that, like, okay, your nipples are burnt, but like that's like the only worst thing. Then I had to waterboard him. I was like, that's also horrible. I didn't want to rip like his nails apart, his teeth out, and like crush his nuts or break his kneecaps. I was like, I can't do this. I can't do this anymore. Can I just go back to sniping the guy?
Right. It's uneasy, and Trevor's speech at the end kind of makes sense, but at the same time, I'm like, no, you just said torture for torturing is fine. You're like, no, they're both horrible. Torturing for information, torturing for torturing is all horrible. Trevor, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, but of course, what was the name of the FIB guy?
Steve Haynes.
Steve Haynes was like, all right, dispatch him. We don't need him anymore. But of course, Trevor's like, nobody tells me what to do. Come on, let's go. I'll bring you to the airport.
But you're like, you just hit the guy because they told you.
Trevor's a nut job.
Right. What you do find interesting information where Dave Norton has played the role of Brad for years, and Trevor thinks, oh, Brad's just in jail.
Right. Like the whole time was like, oh, once we do the job, we're gonna bail out Brad. We're gonna be all okay. We're gonna get the friends together.
But yeah, this just starts, doing odd jobs for the FIB. Like at one point, you see some document from a security van, and like I like how when you knock down the van, it reminds you of Heat. You're like, damn, I know that scene now. Yeah, it's a pretty cool shootout. You're like, this is what GTA really improves on, which is the shooting mechanics. Because GTA 4 had weird mechanics. You're like, why do I have health bars? All right, sure.
Oh yeah, they did have health bars.
Yeah.
That's odd. Like, but here now, like if you shoot them in the head, they're automatically dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like sometimes in GTA 4, if you shot them, they're still alive on the ground. You're like, I feel horrible. Bang.
I mean, it still do that here.
And then you do a heist with Trevor where this is the worst part of GTA 5 for me. He goes to Wade's cousin's job and he has to use a forklift, do manual labor. Like, yes, I play GTA 5 to be a dock worker. Thanks, Rockstar.
Mm-hmm. But there's also the part where we see Wade like covered in shit
Yeah.
inside of his cousin's home. I was like,
And
yeah,
oh god, the cutscene before this was so gross because that's the one where Wade's cousin's like, I ain't got a very big penis, and Trevor shows his, and then he leans forward to pick up his pants, and you see his dick. You're like, oh god.
I forgot about that part.
Yeah. But ultimately, this heist proves stupid because it's a super weapon that Trevor steals from Merryweather, and Lester's
Oh
like,
yeah, I forgot about that.
like either
Wait,
option,
was
it
it-
ends with Lester being like, "Are you fucking stupid? That's a
Was it
super
the-
weapon."
Was it the nerve gas?
No, that's when Michael's stuck in the desert. That's what Trevor does.
Ah, right.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, they get a super weapon, and they're like, yeah, look, within a week we're gonna be all dead if they find out we took this.
Yeah.
So they just gave it to Lester. Well, they gave it to Wade's cousin and Lester to just put it back.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like they're like, oh, it's in the wreckage.
Yeah. Like, I guess no one stole it. And the submarine, too. Honestly, is so. Like, I kind of
It was,
expect that.
dude. Okay, here's the thing though. From all the GTA games, ever since 5 came out, all the missions have become so elaborate
Yeah.
and they put some thought into it. Sure, at some points it's they don't, like it's not needed.
Yeah.
Like where there's this one mission in online where Lester's like, oh, we get these super bikes that can boost when I have a bike at home that is way faster than the bikes that I have here. So I was like, why can't I just use? Okay, you know, never mind.
Yeah. I mean,
But yeah, it gets too convoluted, but they put some thought into it. It's way, in my opinion, the missions here are way better than they were before.
yeah.
Yeah.
We've come a long way from all you had to do, TJ, was follow the damn train. You're like, man, you had to do the damn train.
Now there's submarines, there's helicopters. You get to switch characters between missions to have an advantage.
Yeah.
So, sure, a lot of shitty missions, but they put a lot of work into them.
Yeah. Also, this is where you meet Devin, who's this rich guy, who introduces Michael to Solomon, who's this Hollywood exec. At the same time, you steal nice cars, which I like the missions where.
I'm guessing Solomon is like Scorsese as a parody, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, or like any old-timey director who like stick to their guns.
Yeah.
He does it the old-fashioned way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do like the first car mission where Franklin challenges these two rich kids to a race, and Michael and Trevor are cops, and at the point you switch to Michael or Trevor chasing Franklin, the rich kid.
Yeah, that shit was fun. And then like we also get that one where Franklin steals the Bond car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also one where Trevor has the police cam on the helicopter, and Franklin has to spot the guy because the camera registers the license of the nice car.
Yeah.
Also, we should say Lester turns Franklin into a hitman.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Like from all them, like from the three characters. Look, we got a psychopathic hillbilly,
Yeah.
a man going through a midlife crisis, and then this up and coming gangster.
Yeah.
The up and coming gangster who became a hitman is the least unhinged.
Yeah, and he gets a new house out of it, and the missions are fun, especially the bus one, where if you kill the guy and all the passengers, Lester's like, it is what it is. Oh well.
I mean, that's part of the job, I guess.
Yeah.
A shit ton of money for doing dirty work.
And Michael's family leaves him because Jimmy's like, Dad took drugs, and Trevor's back, and all this craziness, and they're like, we're out, peace.
Oh, you don't deserve Michael's love. He was trying.
Yeah. Eventually, Madrazo gets in contact with Michael again. It's like, hey, can you do a job for me? And unfortunately, he doesn't tell Frank. Then he's like, all right, I'll bring Trevor into this, which is the worst decision in hindsight. because Trevor sees Madrazo's wife and he's like, I want that.
Y'all have seen the meme. Y'all know what it is.
Yeah.
What kind of monster do you take me for? But I did steal his wife. I'm like, oh no.
I like how Michael's just like, Trevor, what the fuck did you do? He's like, calm down, I didn't kill him. What kind of monster do you take me for? But I have a wife. He's like, oh fuck, I'm gonna be sick.
But I did kidnap his wife. Oh god.
And then you do another car mission with Franklin. But the most interesting mission happens when you come back to Michael and Trevor, Michael's just in despair. And Trevor's off again to fuck with Merriweather. This time he has to fly a crop duster into an Airbus.
The air.
A military plane.
Carrier? Not an aircraft carrier. Fuck. Yeah, a military plane that holds like military vehicles.
Yeah.
That shit was sick though.
Yeah. Like you have to fly low at first to not get detected, and then you have to climb higher, and you're like, how the fuck do I get this right? Because they're firing rockets at you.
Yeah, and you're flying a crop duster. It wasn't known for its mobility.
Right.
But like, yeah, we crashed into like the opening at the back. We killed the pilot. We tried to land it, but we can't because it's crashing.
Yeah.
Because we crashed a plane into it.
Yeah.
And Trevor has a Uncharted moment.
Yeah. Actually, yeah. That is a sick moment. And then FIB is like, hey, we need to do another job. Or that's the funding they need for the nerve gas attack. But first they have to do the Polito job. And on the way there, that's where you get the dialogue between Michael and Trevor, where he's like, you know what? You live a funny life. The weird music, the cliche, or like the niche drugs, your hair, your clothes. He's like, what are you heading towards? Like, you're a hipster, aren't you? I hate hipsters. Self-hatred.
Yeah.
Classic hipster characterization. It's like,
Dude, I swear, like, we also get that scene where he pours gasoline into a cup, starts sniffing it. And it's like, oh, I'm just, getting bang for my buck. It helps America. And then the Madrasa's wife comes in and slaps him in the face. And it's like, no gasoline.
And then he's like, I don't agree with what you're saying. I want this conversation to stop right now. Hipster, fuck you, Michael! Fuck you! You're like, oh, this is funny.
I love the hipster.
Yeah. And again, the Polito job is pretty sick because this is where they're robbing a place.
Get, like the Juggernaut suit.
Yeah, and the minigun where the poor cop's like, all right, come up with your hands up. Oh, sweet mother shit.
Like when we came out with the shotguns, we were like, oh fuck, it's real.
Yeah. No, and then when we come up with the minigun, the guy's like, oh damn, they ain't playing.
Mm-hmm. What happened next after the Polito drop?
And then after that, we get a break where Franklin's like, some angry hillbillies torture place, or try to. I stopped them, and Michael's like, what's happening? And Trevor's like, oh, they stole business from me, that's why they're out to get me. He's like, no, why are they out to get you? That's fair, they won the contract. But why are they out to kill you? And then Michael has to take out the remaining O'Neills, and then later on, Trevor's like, oh yeah, I killed all of them. Dewey, Hippie, Drewy, Billy, all of them. And that was probably Shane, Tommy, and the rest.
Look, if Huey, Dewey, and Louie were in it, I don't really care. we just burned the fucking hillbilly house, alright?
Yeah. And then you do the nerve, I guess, heist? Okay, mission.
Yeah, it was a heist, but it was the most typical one that I really liked.
Yeah.
Where you had to work with FIB guy.
Yeah. And then, like, I failed once, and the mission was like, you failed, and everybody died.
Isn't that majority of, like, GTA is that if
yeah,
you
but
fail,
this is
everybody dies?
This is not
Oh, wait, was it because of the nerve gas?
Yeah, like everybody in that coast, the East Coast is now.
Yeah, because like, what's more fun than holding the apocalypse in your hand?
Right. And then everything settles down, but poor Trevor has to get back Madrazo's wife. It's like, if you hurt her, I'll come for you. And poor Madrazo already has a bandage. Like,
Yeah, he bit off his ear.
like, oh, that's why he was so mad to begin with. It's not the fact that you kidnapped his wife; it's the fact that you assaulted him too. You fucking idiot.
I mean, that's Trevor. I will
Yeah.
say, Trevor, best fucking character.
Oh, yeah. And then things settle down, but poor Franklin has the problem like, hey, Devin isn't paying me. At the same time, Trevor goes to Michael's house and is like, we're gonna get back together, right? And no, sorry. Before that, Trevor gets a new house because he kills Wade's cousin and his wife. And then they go.
It was wait. Was that the one where it's like Bob was right about you?
Yeah.
Wait, who's Bob? You find out that she's actually cheating on Wade's cousin.
I like the
And
sketch
then-
where Trevor's like, we can both be fucking each other. Bob was right about you. Who's Bob?
Who's Bob?
Yeah,
She pulls out a gun. Wade's cousin pulls out a knife,
yeah.
and he's like, "I am not liking any of you people."
You people aren't nice.
Oh yeah, you people aren't nice.
Yeah.
And then it cuts. Then you just see Trevor walking out of the condo, all bloody. I'm like,
After driving to the strip club, Wade's like, is that strawberry jam?
Wade, your ignorance is bliss.
Yeah. Thanks, Central, and we're all kind of heading to the big job, which Lester, Trevor, and Michael always dream of doing, the robbing the Union depository. But we have to pause because Trevor does find out through Michael. He's like, things are going back to normal. And Michael's like, no, we're gonna go separate ways, and that's that. And Trevor's like, but no one cares about him. He's like, I care about you. No, you've changed since North Yankton. Answer me this. If you're here, who's in your grave?
They go off to. Was it Yorkhampton?
Basically Canada in their universe.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And they're followed by the
Trevor is
Triad.
Canadian. I forgot about.
Yeah. They're also followed by the Triad, who Trevor pissed off, like, in the beginning of his section. And, like, they have a confrontation, but the Triad interfere, and then they think Michael...
But, by the way, yeah, they thought Michael was Trevor, but they, when they opened up the casket, we find out that it's actually
Brad.
who's in the coffin.
Yeah.
Which is kind of fucked up.
And then you do the last mission with Devin, where Franklin again doesn't get paid, and he's like, Lester, tell Michael. They're like, we can't find Michael, and then you have to rescue Michael from the Triads.
And after you rescue Michael from the Triads, cool sequence though.
Yeah.
Like Michael's upside down in the, what do you call it? Freezer area where they keep the dead pigs.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he saves Franklin's life. That was a cool shootout.
Yeah.
We kind of forgot about that one shootout, the Mexican standoff.
Oh yeah, with all the agencies, the IA, the FIB, and for Steve gets shot again. Well, no, before that,
And Merriweather was there too.
before that, they have another heist where they're supposed to crash into the FIB to delete files, and that's when Michael's like, "We're done, right?" And Dave's like, "No," and that's where we get the Mexican standoff.
Right, they blew up. Well, for me, I did janitor job. What did you do?
I did both.
Okay. I only did the janitor job because it was like I think the easiest and cleanest.
Yeah, and then
No pun intended. But
yeah. They also rescue Lamar, and this is the beginning of like, are Michael and Trevor friends again? But before that, Michael has to attend a premiere of his movie, and then that's when Devin's like, he's a sore loser because he was trying to cancel Michael's movie essentially, Like his secretary tried to steal it, but she gets shredded by an airplane because she's just panicking because help, a psycho's after me.
Oh, she got shredded up in the engine, the turbine. I was like,
Yeah.
right? Well, shit.
And this is the final straw. And that's when they decide, alright, this is the union depository job, and you have to do elaborate stuff, whether you're going loud or smart. Like, if you're going loud, you have to steal a drill, and you have to steal parts of a train, and then you can do the job. Like,
Oh, I did it quiet. I did it quiet. Like, we had to, what was it? We had to steal the bank trucks, the armored trucks, and then we had the guy just like bring us inside. We're all, nonchalant. We're all buddies.
yeah.
We're like, oh, he's retiring.
If you go in loud, like, there's a fake team that steals or tries to rob the front entrance as a fake diversion, and then the real team is drilling it underground. But like, for loud, does it end with a big shootout, or like for quiet?
For quiet, yes, because Merryweather gets gets wind of what you're doing,
Yeah.
and it's not the cops, it's Merryweather.
Okay. And loud is the cops and Merryweather, because the cops are already outside because of the fake heist, and then Michael and Franklin have to shoot their way out and get the getaway vehicle, and then Trevor has to fly the gold past Merryweather into trains, and you think everything is so alright. We did the job, but Trevor's still like very bitter. He's like, you lied to me.
And we also do get like a closure scene for Michael, where his son comes in and is like, hey, mom's actually just waiting for you to whisk her off her feet and save her from this douchey yoga guy.
Yeah.
Where the fuck are you? And they go over there, he punches the yoga guy in the face, and they go to therapy. All four of them.
They're like, yeah, I don't think this is working out.
No, they said they were gonna give it a chance.
Sure.
No, this is the one where we see as a meme, or suck my cock. Ha! What a great
And that's why Jimmy's there at the premiere, but it goes to shit because of a fucking Devin. But yeah,
and then like, what was it? Like, there was a shootout in the Santa household where you save your daughter and your wife.
Yeah.
And Jimmy teabags you by accident.
Yeah, Jimmy's a racist, a homophobic asshole.
The man says the N-word at the start of the game.
But Mike's like, you're my homophobic, racist little shit.
Like, the more he says it, it's like, damn it.
But yeah, after the heist is where, as you mentioned, it's not the FIB, it's Devin who's like, hey, Slick, kill Michael. And of course the FIB is like...
Devin is like, like right at the front door.
Yeah.
And of course Franklin's conflicted.
And the FIB is like, can you please take care of Trevor?
Yeah.
Please.
So Franklin goes to Lester, he's like, which side do I pick? And Lester's like, the most logical one is, if you want the full clean slate, kill both of them.
You're hinting on what you chose, ultimately.
No, I did not choose that. No, seriously, these are dialogues that Lester gave out. It's like, well, the one that Lester would choose if he could is kill both of them.
Yeah, but what did you choose?
Oh, I kept them alive.
Alright.
Yeah, what did you choose?
3. Death Wish. But I did replay like what would happen, and it's kind of sad because Michael does crash into Trevor, and Trevor is drowning in gas, and you set Trevor on fire. And then on the opposite end, you and Michael have this really personal battle where Michael's like, how could you want to kill me? I taught you everything. You're like a son to me. I thought we were family. And he even says like, my daughter is going to college. Come on, man. Just let me go. And then eventually it ends in this tower in like a construction site. And then you try, either you save Michael or you drop him. But when you're saving Michael, he headbutts you for some reason. and then he falls, so it ends either way. And like, oh god, Michael's brains are everywhere. But yeah, more interesting option is C.
I remember like a cutscene where if Franklin goes into the DeSanta house,
Yeah.
they're kind of like, "Can you get the fuck out of our property?"
Yeah, yeah.
Or if you kill Trevor, Michael's not cool about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you all go your separate ways, but that's a depressing ending for both ends. But that's why we choose Death Wish, and they're like, all right, let's go to the foundry to set up Meriwether, the FIB, everyone, because you're like, oh, we're melting down the gold. No, you're there to kill all of them.
Mm-hmm. And this was an amazing shootout because you get worst of both worlds. You get the FIB on your ass.
Yeah.
I think the IAA, sorry,
Meriwether.
and Meriwether on you. So everything's just horrible.
Yeah.
But of course, with the power of 3 men
Friendship.
and friendship, y'all can make it out.
Yeah,
and they
Franklin also drags Porlamar along. Like, Franklin, this is way bigger than him, but sure, get your homie.
I did my right. You're supposed to tie up loose ends, so you're supposed to kill
Steve, Stretch,
Devin, yeah,
Chinese
Steve
Triad.
Yeah. And how I killed Steve was I just waited at the end of the Ferris wheel, like as Trevor, right?
Hmm.
And like as this cart like comes in,
Yeah.
that's when I shot him. Like, what's up, bitch?
Oh, I went in with a shotgun, and he's like, "That's Trevor." I'm like, "Damn right."
Sad to say, I shot the cameraman that was beside him.
That is what it is, man.
Casualties of war.
With Stretch, I just mowed him down with a machine gun. Like, yeah, you're not getting up from this.
Oh yeah, same here. And with was it the Triads?
Yeah.
Oh, I just bazookaed it.
Yeah, same here. It's easier that way.
Because they were all in a like the vans were just all together. I was like, one explosion's enough.
And then poor Devin has to deal with Trevor, and Trevor kills the last of Meriwether. And you have this nice conversation where Devin's like, "I'll do anything. I'll give you money." He's like, "I already have a franchise, homie. Trevor Phillips Enterprises." It's like, "Yes, I'll invest." Like, "I don't need you. You're a sane person, and I don't like you. I want you to know that all the money in the world, all the guns in the world can't protect you from a guy like me who thinks you're an asshole."
And which is very in character, and they drive them out into the goddamn woods.
Yeah.
And they drop the car.
Yeah. They
With
literally
him in the
offshore
trunk.
him.
Huh?
They literally offshore him, as Michael explains. And
Funny
then-
guy, Michael.
And him and Trevor start to bicker again. And Franklin's like, "You know what? I'm terrified of y'all." And then Michael turns to Trevor one last time. He's like, "You know what, P? I'm getting too old for this shit."
I think there's the time where they retire. Because if you guys played the recent GTA expansion, which is for free on online, you work for Franklin now. He's way older, he has gray hair, you see Chop.
Dude, seeing him with gray hair, like... When is my turn for gray hair?
Right? Like, we're all getting old.
And
We're
he's...
all subjected to the
What
test
rapper
of
is he
time.
partnering up with? Jay-Z, right?
Yes, please.
Or Dr. Dre. I think it's Dr. Dre. Because Dr. Dre seems more fitting than Jay-Z. I forget.
Yeah, no, you're right. Dr. Dre. It's not.
Right.
Not bad.
Yeah. Like, either one would be fitting, but, like, it's nice seeing Dr. Dre be part of a, you know, a crew of Franklin's. Like, of course. Seems fitting enough. But yeah, should we touch on online? Basically, online can be the best place or a hellscape, depending on the crew you have.
Okay, online is best if you have a closed server, just you and your
Yeah,
friends.
right?
Oh, God. It's just a cesspool of cheaters.
Yeah.
And people flying that stupid flying bike.
Right?
No, fuck you. You're one of them. I know
No,
you.
I don't have that bike. I have the atomizer thing.
Well, so do I.
But yeah, all in all, what would you rate this game?
Ooh. What would I rate this game? As it goes on right now, I still do play GTA 5 online. It's a 10 out of 10 game. It's standing the test of time. Like, from 2013 to now, it's almost 10 years. And it's still going on strong. With, like, the role-playing servers with people just reminiscing within the old story.
Yeah.
And just people having fun doing heists. It's nice to see. And they keep updating it. There's always something new.
Yeah.
So I gotta give this one probably a 9.10. A 9 out of 10. Because I will say it is lackluster when it came to the cheaters and how they try their best. Rockstar really does try their best to minimize cheaters, but they're always there.
Yeah. So from a 10 out of 10 to a 9, that's not bad. I'll also give us a 9 just because it seems like Rockstar is dipping into that microtransaction bullshit.
The short arts,
Yeah. But the story is pretty good. It's a very good satire of society, and the characters still endure. And to this day, the graphics still hold up. We're like, damn, this game still looks pretty good.
It does.
Yeah.
Especially with a remaster or you got a good PC.
Yeah.
It's still pretty good.
And it's becoming the next Skyrim, which I kind of don't mind. Which makes sense.
Say what you will, let it die, let it not. If you have the game and you got a couple of friends who wants to do a heist, play this game.
It's a good time.
It's a good time.
But yeah, what's your guys' favorite GTA? I know people love, the classics. It's just a shame to remaster the shit.
Oh, the San Andreas one.
Yeah, San Andreas, Liberty City, and Vice City. You're like, come on, Rockstar. I thought you knew better. But yeah, if you like the classics, that's great. If you like 4, that's pretty good too. Because 4, I like. Did you like Chinatown Wars? Did you ever play Chinatown Wars? It's pretty fun. It was pretty fun. Though they went back to the top-down version, which you're like, that's kind of weird, but I dig it. But yeah, what are your other favorite Rockstar games? Please let us know among the GTA games or whatever Rockstar also has between Max Payne and LA Noire. They have a pretty good library. Nightclub. Yeah. They have a pretty good library, but yeah, that's been our video on Grand Theft Auto 5, a almost 10-year-old game, as Drummer says. And I feel old too. Thank you for reversing the rules. I usually do that.
Yeah. You're closer to that than I am. This lady. Not feeling it.
Oh, dear God. But yeah, if you want to see more of us on YouTube, please like, subscribe, and ding the bell icon to get notified of when we upload next. I promise, hopefully the next one is more coherent, because again, this is a big, massive open world game, so I'll try to, focus it up better for the next one. If you want to see us react to trailers, please like us on Facebook under the same name. We also stream video games and about our lives there. If you want to hear us on the go, like if you want to drive like a responsible citizen, unlike in GTA, you can listen to us on Spotify under the same name. And if you want to see us relive our best moments, we also have a TikTok, also called Geeks and Degenerates. Individually, you can find me at Gandalfus995 on IG and Twitter. How about you?
You can find me at JohnG or M_. It is my Instagram account.
Alright. And we'll see you on the next one. I wonder what we'll do next. Bye, everybody.
John.